Not exactly a very sunshiny state, but I assume you guys are all pretty happy to be down here in Florida.
Oh yeah, it feels great to me. I think 70 degrees, but the sun will come out. But I've lived in Florida enough to know that the rains are a part of it, and they go away and the sun follows. So, but no, we feel very excited to be here. It's a great opportunity, great venue here to play in Jacksonville, and the city that's so excited to have this Gator Bowl and so much tradition in this game itself. And 75 years, that's pretty awesome to be part of the 75th playing of this game, and then to play a team like Tennessee with so much tradition and so much, so many great players that have played there and so many great coaches have coached there. So it's a great honor for us to play them.
Playing in January Bowl is obviously a great honor for a program too, but it's also, a long time between games. Are you happy with the way your guys have maintained their focus these past couple of weeks?
Yeah, it is a challenge, and it's uncharted territory for a lot of our guys. We have 7 players that played in a bowl game in the past. That's it, so the majority of our team is not. And so, but we have most of our coaching staff have got a lot of good experience coaching in these games and knowing how to kind of schedule it out. But the team has to respond, and so I feel good about what we've done so far. We need to have a great week of preparation here at the bowl site, which can be challenging because a lot of distractions, but some good distractions. You just got to teach our guys how to handle it and be able to be very productive here as a staff and as a team, and that we play your best on game day.
Coach, what did Peyton show you when there was a little bit of a stop-start to whether he was the starter or not? In and out a little bit, and now he's a guy and everything. But the patience that he exhibited and the fact that he was ready every time, what does that tell you about the kind of kid he is?
I tell you, it's just, I think that what makes him so special was revealed through the adversity, that I created, by not naming him the starter. But at the same time, I challenged him when we met about how to handle this and how to respond. But in my heart, I knew he would respond the right way. He's just such a special young man and been raised the right way. But he's a competitor. He wanted to be the guy. And the thing that I love so much about him is that he was ready when called upon. And he didn't know. There's games where he didn't play at all when he prepared at a high level and was ready to play. And sure enough, when we needed him, he was there and he answered the bell and didn't just play, but he played really, really well.
And what did he do better over the last down the stretch that maybe you might have been lacking a little bit preseason?
I think that I think competition makes everybody better. And he was in the battle during that whole time, the whole offseason. He knew Michael Penix was the guy that he was competing against, and Jack Tuttle, another guy in the mix as well. So I think the biggest thing to me was just his confidence in making down the field throws. I think he just had to, to work on his arm strength and work on, being able to make those decisions a little quicker sometimes and get the ball out fast. And I think that's what he's always been accurate. He's always played at a consistently high level in regards to, completion percentage. That's always been one of his strengths. But to me, it was creating more explosive plays, for our offense and just maybe a better command of it. But he's a year older and he works so hard and he's so tough and he makes so many timely runs that just show a ton of grit and toughness and fight and getting knocked around and getting back up and taking big shots and just, being just absolutely resilient and absolutely tough and gritty. So to me, he's just a winner, and so I'm not necessarily surprised. I know it wasn't easy for him to go through all that, but his character was revealed. His value to this team was revealed in a huge way, and I couldn't be more proud of him and so happy for him.
You talk about the 7 guys on the team who have been in a bowl game before. Do you find yourself leaning on those players more now to kind of impart some wisdom on the other guys?
We do, and just talking about how you prepare, and that's a pretty small number compared to the whole team. And so, one of them's Coy, who doesn't get to play, because of his injury, but he can still, as he's done all year long, provide tremendous leadership, and that's what I appreciate about him and all these upperclassmen, that they've taken ownership of this football team, and I just really appreciate the way they've, put this team on their back and decided, hey, we're going to help this team make good decisions because this team has a lot of youth to it. And so in a setting like this, how do you handle yourself, and what kind of trip is this going to be for our football team, and how do you act when you get to the bowl site, and how do you handle yourself, when you're at bowl activities, away from bowl activities, and just doing things, in the area. So they can provide a lot of leadership for that, and it's very critical because it's you play the way you're going to play the way you prepare. And so we had to prepare at a very high level this week.
In a sense, a bowl game is the end to a season, but can it also be a springboard to the off-season for a team, for a coaching staff, just for a program in general?
It is, and I think everybody views it that way. And there's a lot of bowl games being played here right now, and several today, and they do provide that. It's a great closure for your senior class and them to be able to finish out their careers, but it's also a springboard for your future season in the 2020 season, which is upon us here pretty quickly. So there's no doubt that the momentum you can get from these bowl games, that's why it's so important to be in them, because you get get all those extra practices, and then you get the chance to compete and play late in the year when everybody else is sitting and watching, and then you get a chance to use that in recruiting. And so recruiting never stops. So that's we're doing that on the way over here on the bus, and we'll be doing it here the next several days, just trying to maximize this opportunity and what it means for our future.
Talk a little bit about the time off you have, obviously, between games. How much can that serve as time for young players to really kind of reflect on a season while there's still a game left to play?
I think a lot, especially if you have enough older guys that can really do a great job of showing them what that looks like, and how you maximize your practices and all of our practice reps. And, we worked so hard on the fundamentals and technique of each position for several practices where that's all we did, and didn't do, a lot of scheming things that you're trying to do for a certain team. You're just trying to get better. And I feel like that's what I really like about what we were able to accomplish. And it just allowed us to get so many more reps physically. And then, like you said, you have a chance to reflect back on, what you want out of this and what you want in your experience as a college football player, and how can you maximize that experience. And to me, those bowls are not to be taken for granted. We haven't had a lot of them in our program's history, and so we want our guys, we want that to be the new normal, and we want it to be what our guys expect to be doing here, but it hasn't been that way in the past. And so you got to create that, and you have to build a good level of expectation for how you're going to handle it.
And I know this seems to be a question that always comes up when things go poorly in the game, but looking at it now with about a week to go, how do you make sure that the team comes out to a great start and isn't rusty from the time that it's had off?
Well, that is a challenge, because you say what you want. You haven't played for a month or so, and so bottom line is that it's hard to simulate live situations. So you try and do as much of that as you can in practice, and we'll do that this week here at the bowl side as well. Try to do that in the last couple of practices and get more closer to the game time. But I just think it's about how you practice, how the intensity that you bring, the focus that you bring, the mental side of the game, which is so critical, the focus you have to have. And so to me, that's a maturity piece as well, as we talked about. But being a young team, you got to have some of these younger guys. They may be a freshman or sophomore by grade, but this is the end of a second season for those sophomores and the end of a first season for a freshman, and they can't be playing like freshmen. And so it's the mental focus that you have as you prepare, as you practice, in the meeting time, walkthroughs, maximizing those reps, getting yourself ready to play your best football on January 2nd, which is our goal.
Since Coach DeBoer has left has accepted the Fresno State job, there's been a time for some guys to reflect on what he's meant to them as players, as fellow coaches. So for yourself, what has kind of he meant to you in the year that you've known him? Well,
it's been a special year. He and I had a chance to kind of sit down and talk it through, after it all kind of, the dust all settled from his decision, and we're just so proud of him and happy for him and his family, and I just can't thank him enough for, he had to make a big decision, because they had talked to him even a year ago about, hey, just stay here and you'll be the next head coach, and eventually it proved to be true, but I was trying to sell him on the fact of coming here and helping us, create a special opportunity, and I knew I wasn't going to have him for a long time. I was hoping to have him for 2 years. That was my goal, and obviously only kept him for one. But it was a very, very special year. He just brought so much to us, and really just built off the foundation that was laid the first couple of years offensively, and took us to another level, especially in the area of just scoring points. That's what it came down to. It's putting the ball in the end zone when we got in the red zone, and we got down there the last couple of years and hadn't finished as well as we needed to. So just a little extra that he provided in our both the pass game and the run game that just kind of provided that spark, and then just able to just grow and build on it. So he's just a special person. Appreciate his character, his leadership, kind of man that he is. He added value to our program, and we're better because of him being with us.
You talk about having the same philosophical kind of ideas as you as well. So I guess this is catching the rain. What does it mean to you to have someone in your coaching tree now who kind of values the whole love each other type mantra just in the same way that you do?
Well, it means a lot because I don't think it's just a little saying on a wall. I mean, it's a lifestyle. It's how you treat people. It's how you build something special. It's how you accomplish something that's bigger than yourself. And to me, you do that by getting a group of players, a group of coaches that really don't care who gets credit because it's not about them. And that's easy to say and hard to do. But I think it's how you do anything that has value is when you do it for somebody else. I mean, it's just about me. We talk about celebrate locker room. Well, if you're sitting there by yourself celebrating, what is it? It's nothing, right? Well, the value of that experience is the guys you're with and the embrace that you give them and the celebration together. It's about doing something together. And to me, that's what, makes a team so special. And so I just feel like that he is an example of a guy that we talk about. When he wants to recreate what we were doing here at Fresno, and there was already a lot of philosophical things that were consistent that he already believed in, but I think he would be the first one to tell you this was pretty special, and he would say that it was maybe different than anything he'd been a part of in the past, and sees the value in the LEO mantra, and not just the fact that it's like I said, just a little thing on the wall that sounds cool on the hashtag, but it's what these kids believe in. It's how they play, it's how they prepare, and it's how they ultimately learn to live their lives, which is pretty cool.
How much does that factor into you looking for a new offensive coordinator as well, making sure whether it's an internal or an external guy, they have that same kind of philosophical matchup?
Yeah, I would say that's a given. Whoever it is going to be, that's step number one, because that's where it all starts and stops. And you've got to be on the same page in that area. And I think that that's what I'm looking for. If I want a person that embraces that it's important to them, that they see the value in it, and they understand that that's what makes a place special, is when you have that kind of others focus, and you learn to be able to, because even as coaches, I mean, that's what makes this profession at times challenging, because of people want to advance and have opportunity, which is awesome, and I had those same chances to move up and be a coordinator and then be a head coach one day, and so I want our guys to have those chances, but not to live where I'm trying to manipulate my future, where I'm trying to do things that make me look good so I can try and advance myself. And my whole thing is, hey, when we do well, the individuals get recognized, both the players and the coaches, and that's part of the outgrowth. But getting guys to be patient in that mindset, and to understand that that's how you do great things, is by putting others first. Not everybody thinks that way, but that's why I want a staff that thinks that way.
Is that something that you kind of put on the back burner for the bowl game, being the offensive coordinator search?
I did, because I want us to focus on this team, and to me, that's why I'm so thrilled that Kalen's going to be with us and call the game, and just say, hey, let's put all that to the side right now. Let's put everything into winning this football game, and then we'll focus on the OC position afterwards.
Some of the Colts guys moving around behind you while you're talking. I mean, I know they play tomorrow. You said that the team would probably go to the game. I mean, how cool is that to have the Colts here while you guys are here as well?
I mean, it's pretty neat. We didn't realize it until after we got selected to play here, then they started putting it together. Say, hey, the Colts are going to be there at the same time. So pretty neat. A lot of respect for those guys, and always pulling for them.